This potential signing could help solidify the Denver Broncos offensive line in free agency. What's up, guys? Welcome to Denver Broncos Syndicate, part of the Sports Syndicate family of channels where we're dedicated to bringing you content about our favorite sports teams. I am your host, Gage Madrid. Before we jump in, guys, if you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button on this video as well as subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Those are two free and easy ways that you can help share your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out to fellow members of Broncos country just like you and me. Besides quarterback, if there is one position that the Denver Broncos have consistently struggled to fill over the past decade, it is right tackle. Any member of Broncos country would tell you that. In 2014, the Denver Broncos moved longtime right tackle Orlando Franklin inside to the left guard position, and that move continues to haunt them to this day. Ever since that was done, the Denver Broncos have started over 20 different players for at least one game at right tackle. Now, this certainly isn't for the lack of trying. The Broncos have invested various resources into that position, both in free agency and the draft, but for one reason or another, they have not worked out. We think about players that we've drafted, such as Michael Schofield, and then you think about all the money that the team has invested in that position in free agency, from Donald Stevenson to Menelik Watson to Jawan James to Billy Turner. It has been a complete revolving door at the right tackle position. You could argue the best play that we've seen at right tackle over the past decade has come from DeMar Dotson and Cam Fleming. How sad is that? Since the Broncos lack the draft capital to go out and find a serviceable offensive tackle that could come in and play day one, it is most likely that the team is going to go back to the free agency well this offseason. They had hoped that they had at least found a stopgap at the right tackle position last offseason when they brought back Billy Turner from the Green Bay Packers, but unfortunately, injuries kept Turner off the field for most of the season. The Broncos know that they're probably going to have to invest some significant financial resources if they finally want to put a stop to the revolving door at right tackle. The top option on the free agent market for the Broncos at right tackle would be 49ers right tackle Mike McGlinchey, but I would imagine that San Francisco is going to do whatever they can to keep him in the building. So a solid plan B for the Broncos would be Jawan Taylor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. An article by Travis Wakeman of Predominantly Orange discusses this very possibility. Here's what Wakeman has to say about Taylor. Taylor was a second-round pick of the Jaguars in 2019, and his career started slowly. So slow, in fact, that he was being labeled as a bust by some of the fans down there, much like Garrett Bowles of the Broncos. But he stepped up his level of play in 2022 and was part of one of the league's better offensive lines this past season. Spotrac predicts that Taylor will receive a contract this offseason worth about $12 million annually. ESPN's Field Yates has that number even higher at $15 million per year. One thing that Wakeman noted about Taylor is his durability. He has played and started in all 66 games for the Jaguars since he was drafted. So that is one big positive if the Broncos were to go out and get Jawan Taylor. They would have a dependable player, unlike someone like Jawan James, who had already had a history of injuries when he got here. The only question now is, was Taylor's step up in his level of play last season a fluke, or is that something that he can harness on a more consistent level? It would be a bit of a gamble the Broncos would be taking if they were to sign Jawan Taylor, but the upside is definitely there. There's no doubt about that. If the Broncos can get the Jawan Taylor who has a dependable right tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars last season, then they will definitely be in good shape. However, if Jawan Taylor were to regress back to the mean of his play here in Denver, that would probably be a rough pill for the Broncos to swallow, to once again invest a heavy amount of financial resources in the right tackle position to once again get burned. Here's hoping that would not be the case. All right, Broncos country, I'm curious. How would you feel if the team signed Jawan Taylor in free agency? Drop those comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. And while you're at it, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Gage Madrid NFL for continuing Broncos coverage. And for now, this has been another episode of Denver Broncos Syndicate. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.